We got 2 live ones in court with fezzes on. Thanks again to A Plausible and to Law Nerds Unite for tipping me off.
Okay.
Not one.
And Mr. Harper, I signed that order. Sir, you can come forward and we'll get you a copy of it, okay?
The guy just did was
Thank you very much for being here.
Hopefully they cut to the gallery so you can see.
Amari, Zion, McCra Bay.
Oh, here we go. We got a bay. We got a bay.
Good morning.
Your Honor.
Let's do this.
You as well.
Good morning. You are Amari, Zion, McCra Bay?
Sir.
Good morning. Go ahead and have a seat. This is case 4A0892587. Mr. McCra Bay was issued an infraction for operating a motor vehicle in excess of the posted speed limit, 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit on December 11th, 2024. And let me take a look here. It does appear that Mr. McCra Bay has a perfect driving record. And so it does appear that you are eligible for a deferral, if that is something that you are interested in. You have responded to the issuance of the infraction by requesting a contested hearing. Is that how you would like to proceed this morning?
Yes, sir.
So the court's going to begin by reviewing the officer's report. After I've done that, I'll go ahead and swear you in, and you'll have an opportunity to provide any testimony you would like.
Oh, good.
Also submitted some filings as well. I was just wondering if the court had time to review that as well.
Yes, I did review the filing that was filed with the court last week.
All right. And were there any objections to the filings?
There's no objection to the filings. I have reviewed the filing. So I'll let you make whatever argument you would like to make based upon what you've filed. I'll also let you offer any factual testimony you'd like the court to consider, okay?
Sure.
So let me go ahead and review the officer's report first. The court has reviewed the report of Officer Jeremy Vall of the Lakewood Police Department, signed under penalty of perjury on December 11th, 2024, providing his factual basis for the issuance of this infraction. And Mr. McCra Bay, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to raise your right hand.
I'm new to this legal, and I'm not Catholic or Baptist. I'm a Moroccan national. So
yes, sir.
If it's all right, could I put my hand over my heart and say?
Yeah, that's fine. I just need you to affirm that whatever you tell the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
What testimony would you like to offer the court regarding the issuance of the infraction in this case?
First of all, on that morning, I was not driving. Driving implies that I was doing business or commerce. At the time, I was traveling because I was going from home to school, which is Clover Park Technical College. And when he had pulled me over, it was over there by Clover Park, but there's a street where I had taken a left, and that's where he had pulled me over at. And he said I was in the school zone going 10 or 15 over, but I had already where where I had turned is already past the school zone, and the speed limit for that was 35, and that's when I had went 35, which was after the speed limit sign.
Okay. And Mr. McCrary Bay, is there any additional testimony you'd like to offer at this time?
Not at this time. What actually, the stop was pretextual as well, because in the thing in what he had told me, he was like, "You don't have a valid driver's license," but he only ticketed me for the traveling infraction. And if I believe that's a pretextual stop, because one, I wasn't cited for uh no like driver's license, which you don't need a driver's license to do travel. You only need the license to do commerce. And the pretextual stop is because he gave me a citation for the traveling part, but he didn't give me a citation for the ID.
All right, Mr. McCurry Bay, thank you. And I do want to note for the record that I have reviewed, actually over the weekend, I reviewed the declaration of Mr. McCurry Bay that was filed with the court on May 1st, 2025. So the court is going to make a finding that the infraction was committed. The court has reviewed the report of the officer. It does appear that the officer was utilizing a speed measuring device that was properly certified and calibrated at the time that it captured the speed of the vehicle being driven by Mr. McCurry Bay, or as Mr. McCurry Bay indicates, that it
Once again, I wasn't driving, I was traveling at the time, and I wasn't operating a vehicle, I was operating my personal property.
correct. And so Mr. McCurry Bay has used the verbiage traveling and operating his personal property. The officer is using the verbiage driving and motor vehicle. I understand that Mr. McCurry Bay uses different terminology to describe that phenomenon. I respect that. But it does appear that the speed measuring device that was being utilized by the officer was in good working order at the time of the issuance of this infraction and did record that personal property, or what the officer refers to as the vehicle, traveling at a speed that exceeded the posted speed limit in a school zone. And so the officer issued the infraction based on that observation, as well as the officer's personal estimation of the speed at 35 miles per hour in a 20 mile per hour zone. So the court will enter that finding of committed at this time. The court does note Mr. McCurry Bay pointing out that the officer did not issue an infraction for failure to have a driver's license.
I did present him my passport though too.
I do see that the enhanced traveler ID was presented. In response to that, the court does note that officers do have discretion to issue or not issue an infraction, even if there is a factual or legal basis for the issuance of the infraction. And it does appear that Officer Volley did decline to issue that infraction for failure to have a driver's license. However, that does not negate the issuance of the school zone speeding infraction, and the court will find that infraction is committed at this time.
The thing is though, I'm a Moroccan diplomat, which implies that I don't fall under that jurisdiction.
And under that standing for diplomacy or for diplomatic community, if you are seeking exemption from this court's order, that would need to be taken up diplomatically with the United States Department of State.
Good luck. I'm sure the Department of State will get right on it for you. Oh, it's so frustrating. I'll have to
And
show
the
him.
court has signed that order. And Mr. McCurry Bay, I'll ask you to come forward and we'll get you a copy of the court's order.
Quick question is, would there be a chance for a deferment if possible?
No, unfortunately, once someone requests a contested hearing and they proceed with a contested hearing, the court does not grant deferrals after a finding of committed has been entered.
Yeah,
All right.
you lose.
Thank you very much, sir. You can go ahead and come forward and we'll get you a copy of that order.
I have a court case right here showing that my diplomacy and it shows it's a superior court case that establishes our US DDT as well.
Come on.
And sir,
the
that is
camera on
something
him.
that you can raise on appeal if you would like to bring that up on appeal. Also, again, if you're claiming a diplomatic exemption, that is something that you can also raise with the U.S. Department of State.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There's two of them. I'm hoping
And
that
James Muku.
I'm hoping this is the other one.
Sir, good morning. You are James Anthony Muku.
Yes, my lords.
Good morning. This is case 5A0165685. Mr. Muku received an infraction on February 18th, 2025 for speeding 18 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. Mr. Muku has responded to the issuance of that infraction by requesting a contested hearing. And let me take a look here. It does appear that Mr. Muku is eligible for a deferral. It also appears that this infraction was not issued in a school zone, so it is eligible for a mitigation hearing as well. And Mr. Muku, do you understand the differences between those three options, sir? Or would you like me to explain those to you?
Please explain to me.
So a deferral, you have to pay the infraction amount, but as long as you get no other moving violations in the next 6 months, if you get no other moving violations and you paid the $217, then 6 months from today, we dismiss the case. We dismiss the infraction so that it does not appear on your driving record. A mitigation hearing is a hearing where you are agreeing that you did commit the infraction, but there are circumstances you want the court to consider and asking that the fine amount be reduced. So the court can reduce the fine from $217 to a lesser amount, depending on whatever mitigating information you'd like the court to consider. And then the third option is the hearing that you requested, which is a contested hearing, where you are asking for an opportunity to challenge the sufficiency of the information and the evidence provided by the issuing officer, the officer that gave you the ticket, that supports his decision to issue the infraction. So those are the three options, all of which are available to you in this case. Do you know which one you prefer to proceed with?
Will they all go to my driving record?
The deferral?
The deferral will go to my.
Yeah, the deferral keeps it off your driving record. Yes, sir. Is that the one you'd like to go with?
I don't want it to go to my driving record.
I'm sorry?
I don't want it to appear in my driving record.
Okay, so the deferral is how that stays off your driving record, but you can also request a contested hearing and say that you didn't commit the infraction. You want to do the contested hearing? Okay. So, and Mr. Muku is nodding his head affirmatively. So I'm going to go ahead and review the report of the issuing officer. And then Mr. Muku, I'm going to swear you in and you can testify as well. Okay.
Heard
Court has reviewed the report of the issuing officer, Officer Jeremy Ball, signed under penalty of perjury on February 18th, 2025. Mr. Muku, would you like to testify at this time regarding what happened in the issuance of this infraction?
Yes, my lord.
Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm, that any testimony you'll offer will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Mr. Muku, what testimony would you like the court to consider?
So I'm a mechanic by profession, and a customer brought to me a car and he found me at home. He told me the car had a problem with the transmission. So he took my car. I have a shop on South Tacoma Way. So I drove the car from my house. It was only going on one gear. So I had to step on the gas and put it on neutral. And it's like from my house to where the officer was, I think it's like a block away. So there was a car behind me, and I stepped on the gas and I put it on neutral. When I stepped on the gas, the officer stopped me, and I told him, "Hey, I'm sorry, this car has a problem with the transmission, and I'm taking it to my shop." And he told me, "You are not supposed to operate a car that has a problem."
This guy
I
might not
told
be
him I'm a mechanic and I'm
a soft
taking it
tip.
to my
I'm
shop.
not sure yet.
So he issued me with a ticket.
He also has a legitimate foreign accent.
I do see in the officer's report that the testimony Mr. Muku offered today is included in the officer's report. The officer wrote that Mr. Muku told him he's a mechanic. The vehicle has a transmission issue that requires him to press the gas pedal to get it to shift. So Mr. Muku, I think the explanation that you provided, the fact that you're a mechanic and this was a customer's car and that you were working on the
there were two Fezzes.
the customer's vehicle, I think that is
They might still call him.
that is what the court would consider mitigating information. So it's an explanation as to what happened, and it wasn't just that you were out speeding just because you could, right? Or speeding for no reason. There's a reason this happened, and it's because the vehicle had a mechanical issue. You were trying to get into your shop to work on that mechanical issue.
You got a ticket with
The
only
question
one
before
gear?
the court is a very limited one. The question is whether or not Mr. Muku was operating a motor vehicle that was exceeding the posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour. And that's the only real question before the court in a contested hearing. The court does review the officer's report, or did review the officer's report, notes that the officer was using a speed measuring device that appears to have been properly calibrated and was in good working order. It does indicate that it was in the stationary position and that it locked onto the vehicle being driven by Mr. Muku, traveling at a speed of 53 miles per hour in a speed zone where the speed limit was 35 miles per hour. The
It really
court
is.
finds that information and that reading to be credible, especially considering the testimony of Mr. Muku.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing is live.
Indicating that it probably was going over 35
I'm
miles
just letting
per
it play
hour,
out for a bit.
as well as the officer's visual estimation. The explanation that Mr. Muku has offered makes sense, but it does not change the fact that the vehicle he was driving was exceeding the posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour. The court's going to do something it does not usually do. The court is going to enter a finding of committed. I do believe the city has met its burden of proof of establishing that it is more likely than not that Mr. Muku was operating a motor vehicle at 53 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. However, the court, based on the information that Mr. Muku has provided, is going to mitigate the infraction amount given the circumstances here. The court's going to reduce the infraction amount from $217 to $125. And that is based upon the fact that this is kind of a unique set of circumstances. This was not Mr. Muku's car. Mr. Muku is a mechanic. He was simply trying to get the vehicle from his home to his shop. And unfortunately, given the mechanical limitations on the vehicle, the only way Mr. Muku could drive it was in such a way that caused it to exceed the posted speed limit. So that is why the court is reducing the fine amount. Mr. Muku, you can go ahead and come forward. We'll give you a copy of that order, sir.
Like, will that appear in my driving records?
I'm sorry?
Will that appear in my driving records?
Yes, sir, it will. Yeah, it's going to appear on your driving record because the court made a finding that the infraction was committed.
Yeah.
So there is no way I can put it away from my driving record.
The only way to keep it off your driving record
lost,
is to do a
Muku.
deferral. And the deferral requires you to pay the full amount of $217. But if you do that and you have no other moving violations, then in 6 months, the case is dismissed.
Yeah, let me do the
You
deferral.
want to do the deferral?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually don't let people do that, but your case is kind of interesting. So I will go ahead and change my ruling. I will enter a deferral for 6 months. You cannot have any other moving violations for 6 months. You also have to pay the full infraction amount of $217 to the court no later than August 20th, okay? And the court has signed that order. You can go ahead and come forward, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. I'm hanging out to see if
Okay.
the other fez gets
and
called.
Ms. Quituga. Up a little bit to your left. A little bit to your left there.
There you go.
And
there's
Your
the
Honor,
fez.
may the interpreter
Back in the gallery. 2 of them.
I apologize for mispronouncing it. You said it's Quituga?
P as in Paul and then Kirwa. But if he didn't put it in there, that's fine. It's my name anyway.
Okay, all right. I apologize for mispronouncing it.
Oh, no, that's fine.
It appears that you were issued an infraction for speeding 12 miles per hour over the posted speed limit on February 1st, 2025. You've responded to the issuance of that infraction by requesting a contested hearing. It does appear, take a look here. It does appear this did not appear in a school zone or did not occur in a school zone. So you are eligible for a mitigation hearing, or we can proceed with the contested hearing. Do you know how you would like to proceed? Would you like to contest the infraction, or
What
would
is
you like
that?
to?
What is that mitigation again?
Mitigation is where you indicate that yes, you were speeding, but
Oh, no.
there's,
I'm not.
you want to do a contested hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and review the officer's report, and then I'll swear you in so that you can testify as well, okay?
Thank you.
All right. We're taking bets here. Is this another SOV or just like the last one, not a SOV, just a foreigner? What do we got?
Court has reviewed the report of the issuing officer, Officer Robert Turk of the DuTaunt Police Department. His report signed under penalty of perjury on February 1st, 2025. And if I could have you raise your right hand, do you swear and affirm any testimony you'll offer will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what testimony would you like the court to consider?
Well, that morning and every morning, I'm not in a hurry. We don't need to be in a hurry. As far as where I'm working, because I can show you proof that we use our UPTs, PTOs if we're so we don't have to be rushing or anything like that. And even if I was late, which I wasn't late that morning, and I wasn't even speeding or anything, because I know where the distance is, you know what I mean? Like this, once I exit on DuPont, of course, there's construction site, you follow that, whatever, and then once you pass the middle of that construction area, there's like an apartment, I believe, from the left side, and then that's where it starts 45, but then you can't really go 45 because there's a traffic light coming up already. But anyway, I'm not in a hurry anymore. You know, I haven't been in a hurry because our job, that's what they gave us, all that. So that way, if we're late, we don't have to rush. We can be late, you know. We can use our UPT, and I have it. I can show you that morning I wasn't even late anyway. I don't, even when he pulled me over. So as soon as he pulled me over, he didn't even give me a chance. So it was like the traffic light, international left. And then there's another traffic light, and then another one short distance. And then that's when he pulled me over. So, and then as soon as I pull over to the right, and I'm just like a couple of blocks to my exit to my work to take a ride to Amazon, work for Amazon. So anyway, and then as soon as I rode on, I was gonna ask him what seems, but he didn't give me a chance. He was more in a hurry than I was when he was talking, you know. And he goes, oh, let's hurry up and get you out of here, get you to work. And that was it. I mean, I didn't even speak to say what seems to be the problem. So that's the only thing I have, and I have my proof that day that I wasn't late. Even when he pulled me over.
Any other testimony you'd like to provide?
No.
Okay.
But I can show you.
Well, I believe your testimony when you say that you were not late. I don't doubt that.
And even if I was late, I mean, I can't be late because I'm using all my stuff. You know, we use our stuff here.
Yeah.
I can show you proof that that's what we're doing at work.
Yeah, I don't doubt that you weren't late to work. What the court is concerned with is what the officer included in his report. The officer indicates that he saw your car driving on Steilacoom DuPont, North Steilacoom DuPont. And the officer indicates in his report, he estimated your vehicle speed at 54 plus miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone.
And there was cars in front of me. I can't be doing that speed anyway. And the traffic light's coming up. There's a traffic light coming up.
The officer indicates that after he estimated your speed at 54 plus miles per hour, he utilized his radar speed measuring device unit to obtain a reading of your vehicle speed, and it showed 57 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. It does appear that
For me, must have mistaken me with another car. I don't know, but like I said, he pulled me over in the third traffic light. I mean, that's just too short distance. Like, I don't have a witness, but
the officer's report indicates that the radar was locked on your vehicle. The court doesn't really have any reason to doubt the accuracy of the speed measuring device when, according to the officer, it was properly calibrated and tuned. It's a very low burden of proof, so the court is finding that the city of DuPont has met its burden, and the court's going to enter a finding of committed as to this infraction. Court will impose the infraction amount of $165 and will indicate that it must be paid to the court on no later than August 20th. Court has signed that order. Thank you very much for being here. You can go ahead and come forward and we'll get you a copy of that order.
thank you.
And it is
Award.
now 11:59 a.m.
0 points.
and that will conclude the court's calendar for this morning. And respond to any questions from Mr. Rydell.
Okay. I'm just showing you this. I don't know why They didn't give us the cool courtroom view
Okay.
when the soft state got called.
Court has signed that order.
But this is why I was here.
Mr. Wright, I'm going to have you come forward. We're going to go ahead and get you a copy of that order, okay?
I mean, it's
I believe that's the only matter that involves the city, Your Honor. We've signed off on
It's a motley
each
crew.
case for the 9:30, but I'm in the building if you need anything.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Ms. Wachter. Okay, I do see that I have other individuals who are present in the courtroom. I appreciate everyone's patience.
this guy in the all black is a vibe too.
Are all of you from the 8:30 a.m. calendar?
By vibe, I mean idiot.
Okay, raise your hand if you're from the 8:30 a.m. calendar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead
Okay,
and take 8:30 a.m. roll again.
Only
If
one
I-
of us raised the
Okay,
hand.
so I'm going to go ahead and take 8:30 a.m. roll again. If I call your name, please indicate that you're present.
I think it was just an emotional
Mahmoud
support fest.
Ziad
The second one.
Abasama. Anthony Dion Cheney.
Our first emotional support fest here on Law Talk with Mike.
Frederick Harper. Amari Zion McCrary Bay. Thank you.
There, yeah. The Bay.
Adam Moreno. James Muku. Thank you, sir. William Mawaniki. Haley Noland.
Excuse me if I thought Muguku could have gone
Enoa
to soft state.
Gregory Pelago. Maria.
And
Lena
excuse me if I'm a
Quitulo.
Matlock
Thank
fan.
Ishmael Sheriff. Carla Trolia. Is there anyone here whose name I did not call?
All right.
Sir, what is your last name? Harper? Oh, there you are. Frederick
We can
Lewis
do this
Harper?
hearing too. This hearing's fun.
Thank you.
Then we'll close it down.
Okay.
We got our solve. We
So,
caught our solve earlier.
Mr. Harper, let's go ahead and start with your case. Go ahead and come forward. Yes, sir. And Mr. Harper, it appears.
Mr. Harper just makes
Let's take a
himself
look
look like
here.
a complete psycho.
Looks like you received an infraction for exceeding the posted speed limit in the school zone and also having an illegible or obscured license plate on your vehicle on February 4th, 2025. You've responded to the issuance of those infractions by requesting a contested hearing. Is that correct?
My license suspended?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just wanted to make sure those were the two infractions that were issued. I just wanted to make sure that was your understanding of why you're before the court.
Okay.
Okay, and you've requested a contested hearing of those infractions. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to begin by reviewing the police report. I'm then going to swear you in and give you an opportunity to provide your testimony, okay? So give me 1 second while I review the officer's report.
Yeah.
All right, and the court has reviewed the report of Officer Brian Danley issued on and signed under penalty of perjury on February 4th, 2025. Mr. Harper, is there testimony you would like to provide regarding the issuance of the infractions in this case? Servant, as you raise your right hand, do you swear and affirm that any testimony you offer will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, sir, go ahead. What is your testimony regarding the issuance of these infractions?
Let me see. I left home and I turned down the street where that Catholic school is, wherever that school is, right over here. I may have ran about a corner a little fast because there was some cars approaching. Okay, I'll bite the bullet for that. But as I'm going down the road, I don't know how long that the officer was behind me, But when I get to the light, I finally see him pulling up. He wasn't already behind me. He was pulling up. And as I turned in the corner at the light, he hit his lights. So I'm hearing impaired. I get out of my car to that police officer, whoever. No. First thing he says, get back in your car. I said, no, I'm getting back in my car. I'm hearing impaired. I'm not going to miss something you say. So it started from that. And I'm going to tell you the truth. He started to put his hand on his gun. And I told him, don't do it with me. I don't play that. I'm not going to say what I said. I said, but I don't play that. Don't do it. And he attempted, and I let him know, I don't play it. And I wasn't going to play it, so I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have no problem with police, but when he went like that, that's my problem. Evidently, he didn't like what I was saying to him. I'm telling him, hearing impaired, whatever he doesn't like, that's your problem, not mine, but you're not going to put your hand on your gun with me. And I'm definitely not going to go for it. He called other people. They came or whatever, gave him my ticket. You're going to try and tell me, oh, you can go. I looked at him like, are you crazy? I cursed him out. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not your kid. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm a grown man just like you're a grown man. You can't respect me, I'm not going to respect you. That's how I am, sir. And I'm from the South. I know what it is to respect. I know all that. But when they get that gun in that bag, some of them, they let it go to their head. I don't. I'm going to give you respect. If you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. And that's what it was. It was a lot of disrespect. Evidently, he thought he was bigger than me because he had that. You're not. You're a human being just like I am. You bleed just like I bleed. And that's what it was. He didn't like the way I came. He thought I probably was going to, excuse my language, punk down or whatever, but I didn't. I stood my ground. I'm not going to let, just because you got a gun in the badge, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, but that's not, sir. I've been through too. I just lost my wife. She committed suicide on Easter. So there's a lot of things that go, and I don't need that stuff like that. And at this time, that didn't happen, but it was things going on. I tried to be cordial. When I got out of my car, I'm hearing impaired. I'm hearing impaired. You say something to me, I'm going to miss. And I'm not going to, by you saying something to me, I miss it, I go to jail. And that's what happened. For me, that's what happened. I don't know what he put in his report. I don't know. But that's what I did. Like I said, I may have been speed. I'll bite the bullet for that. But if he put something else in that report, I'll fight it till the day I die.
Yeah, and Mr. Danley, I'll tell you, or Mr. Harper, excuse me, I'll tell you, there's none of that in the report. The only thing that's in the report is him saying he saw.
So my whole point is, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Okay.
I know I turned the corner, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if I went through that street fast like that, why did he just not come up behind me when I got to that light?
Yeah.
And then I looked in my mirror. I seen he was approaching me and he got behind me. Then he hit his lights as I turned to their windows.
Yeah.
He stopped me in that parking lot.
What about the, you were also cited for having an obstructed license plate. Tell me about the license plate cover on your vehicle. Does it make it?
That was taken off. I took that off my car because I didn't want no more problem. Now that's taken off, okay? So I knew that because I know it's a secondary offense, but if they stop you, they can get you for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's like I got stopped by Pierce County Sheriff, but they never brought that part up. But each precinct and all that is different.
But you've taken care of that. You've taken that off.
The license plate cover.
Okay. All right.
But it's off my car.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay. All right. So here's the situation I have, Mr. Harper. I think that based on the speed measuring device, the radar gun, it looks like they have you speeding in a school zone. I've got no reason to doubt the accuracy of that speed measuring device, especially based on your testimony. So I think that the city has met its burden of proving that infraction by preponderance of the evidence. Because you have rectified the issue of the license plate cover, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that infraction at this time. So I'll find that the speeding infraction is committed, but I'll go ahead and dismiss the license plate infraction at this time. Okay.
All right, we've gone full circle. We're back. I just watched that going in when I was looking for the Fez. I thought that was actually a good hearing too. We only had one sub sit, two Fezes, one sub sit. but it was worth it. The other ones were fun too. The other ones were fun too. All right. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.